like food is food is political, but you have also to look at food as food is what we eat, because we because of the food we put into our body. Because if we won't put like healthy food, I don't think then we'll be healthy people. And even like our minds, our thinking, our mental health, everything is shattered because the food we are putting in our body is not a good food. So food is the major factor of a human being living. So yeah, so it's a main factor.
And did you find that it was a shock when you came here to realize that it was going to be so institutionalized,
Yeah,
and dictated to you in this,
yeah,
very regimented way?
yeah, it was very, very shocking. And being like to understand that Ireland is one of the uh, countries in a human right democratic state, and then to receive to welcome people like me and deny me the basic human rights, which is cooking. It's shocking. Up to now, it's something which I can't even get around it. Till now, I don't even have answers for it. So yeah, it's a shock.
It is a shock, and shocking. Ruben, would you echo the same experience for you and your family?
Yeah, sure. One of the things that was actually surprising for me is, like for most people sitting here, you'll have that luxury of inviting a friend for a cup of coffee or to share some food. Where I come from, food is one of the things that gets communities together. So that space where you share food actually brings the bond. So I was in a foreign country with a lot of culture shock, and I could not bond with the few people that I could actually relate to through the way that I was used to bonding with them. Because when I invite you to my house to eat, we can actually start our conversation and then we begin to relate. But when I came over here and I met other people from Zimbabwean community, because I'm originally from Zimbabwe, I found that I could not be able to provide a cup of coffee for them. That was very difficult, and it's so challenging as a parent. When you are raising children, you want to pass on certain traditions to your children, and one way of doing that is your children watching you doing some things. So if you're not able to do the cooking, and that's very hard, and the kids will be watching that. One of the things that happens in direct provision is you get food from a dining room or depending on the center, and you bring that food and you share it with your children. The children can't even say thank you to you because they know you're not the one that is providing. In my culture, when you eat, you say thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy. But when the kids are saying, I can't say thank you to you, I can only say thank you to the staff in the dining, that was so disempowering for me.
So what I'm hearing clearly is a total lack of autonomy, a total impact on one's identity and culture, to not even be able to have your children say thanks mom or dad for food. Like I literally can't even understand it. And then when I hear you then, Ellie, talk about it as an issue of a human right issue. So Fiona, could you give us a little understanding of that, please?
Well, I suppose, yeah, I mean, you would think something like the right and access to food is an inherent human right, and I think direct provision. If you look at the word, I think that's where it came from. So the state will say that it directly provides for people, and the way of doing that is through the provision of food. Now, there's been, along with the issues of a lack of autonomy and lack of cultural expression, which I think is really important. So if you're coming from another country to Ireland, and very often your migration is forced. You're not coming through choice. So one of the expressions of your culture is through food, and you can see that with Irish people. They go to America, they go to UK, you go and visit, you bring the potatoes, you bring the black pudding, you bring you bring all the things that people feel as part of them and part of their inherent in themselves, almost as a human. So all of that is gone. So you have no choice in what food you cook, in what food you prepare, in what food your children eat. And I think additionally, I think it's kind of coming along to what Ruben was saying, is that children are growing up having never seen their parents cook. And they're eating dinners from, in some cases, there's a direct provision centre in Cork, and they're eating from polystyrene plates and with plastic cups and plastic spoons. Now, there is a move to bring self-contained or self-catering into some of the hostels as a result of the McMahon report. So, for example, in Mosney, kitchens are now installed in Mosney, so people can cook in Mosney. That's great, but they still don't have proper access to food. So there's a shop on site, but people are given a card, and the food is allocated via a point system. and there's not a lot of clarity as to how that point system works. So say, for example, and